Let's get sweaty.
Hey guys, welcome to another Shenmue Dojo video. Today, as part of the character exploration series, I want to look at the character of Landy. We don't know a huge amount about him. He's one of the more mysterious characters within the Shenmue series. Obviously, we looked at Shenfar last time, and Landy was very much a close second in this video series that I wanted to have a look at and see where we go. So we're going to look at some basic facts, the past history, future plot, and a quick conclusion summary as to where we may go with all of this. So, basic facts. Now, these again are taken from Superpass. Download the app if you haven't done so already. Superpass.com. It's available on Android or iPhone. So, basic facts. Landy is 31. He is a master of the Tiger Swallow style, which is considered a very rare martial art and potentially lost to the sands of time. The only other people we think have this style is his father, Zhongming Zhao, and we know that Master Bayu has that style when he fights Ryo in the Yellowhead building in Shenmue 2. He's always seen in Landy, is always seen in Chinese robes with dragon on it, and he is one of the 4 leading rank members of the Chi Men. Very sort of obvious information there, but it gives us a picture of Landy and where he is in the character that he is so far. So in the games we don't actually see too much of him. In the anime we tend to see a little bit more, which gives us a little bit more of an insight into his character, his threatening nature, and quite what he is after. So let's go into his past history. And as I said at the top of this video, there isn't a massive amount known about Landy here. In actual fact, we don't really find out too much until the end of Shenmue 2, where we find out that his father was Zhongming Zhao, and Landy's real name is Longzong Zhao, just to put that out there. It's also seen in the Walinshu book around martial arts masters. So his father's in that book, and obviously Ryo recognises the name, but then in the conversation with Yuandazu, that link is then made, and we know that there's that father and son relationship. What we do also know about Landy, that he was trained by the Chi Men and taken in by the Chi Men at a very, very young age. So at the end of Shenmue 3, when they are on the boat, presumably going back to Bailu, I don't know at this point, Ryo has a conversation with Mr. Yuan. And in that conversation, Mr. Yuan confirms that Landy was taken in by the Chi Men at a young age. And that's something we didn't know about him. And that could well feed into the future plot for Landy in terms of could he have been manipulated by them, and what actually happened with his father and Iwao and everything else. Speaking of his father, Zhongming, we know that him and Iwao trained in Bailu Village. And given Landy's age, bear in mind he's 31 at this point, so we're in 1986, 1987 at this stage in the Shenmue series, it's very likely that he would have met Iwao in China. Let's sort of look at this from a maths perspective in terms of their ages. Ryo was born when Landy, or when Iwao rather, was 28. So Landy would have been 13 at the time. So we know Iwao trained in China, likely between the ages of 20 and 25, just looking at the photo that he has with Landy's father, Zhongming. So it's very likely at that point that Zhongming would have introduced his son, Longshan, to Iwao. It makes absolute sense for that to happen. So he would have been probably between the ages of 5 and 10, depending on when Iwao was out there, how long he was out there, and when all this happened. So there's a question here around the past. What did he witness? What did he know about the mirrors? And where was he when his father was, in theory, killed? And did Iwao do it? Did he see that? Those are some sort of future plot points that we're coming on to that are very much unanswered in his past history. All we know is that when Landy speaks to Iwao in the dojo after dispatching with relative ease here, he says, "Do you remember the name Zhongming Zhao?" And Iwao's like, "It can't be you." So there's a clear recognition from Iwao that Landy is probably the son or something related to the name that Landy spoke of. Now, it's not explicitly said like that, but there's that sort of seed in the first game that may come to fruition as things go forward. So future plot wise, as I say, he was taken in by the Chi Men. So there's a multitude of options here that could happen. Number one is quite an obvious one, that he was manipulated by the Chiyu men and trained under the guys that Iwao did actually kill his father, but then it shows later on in the story he didn't. There's the second guys around it that actually Iwao did do it. And there's two sort of points of pass, I guess, here. How does Rio take that? And then Landy's being justified, potentially, I use the word justified in inverted commas, in his decision to take Iwao's life. So how would they fit that into the story? And then what does it do to Rio and his path and how he reacts to all that? Because bearing in mind the anime as well, he's almost trying to prove his father's innocence and look into his father's past and understand it. Not so much in the games, it's more about vengeance, but there's that link between the two. So what if it was actually true? What if the words Landy uttered were true? Now his path very much mirrors Rio, or Rio mirrors Landy rather, but you can see where I'm going with this. So Landy has obviously fallen, for want of a better expression, onto the evil path, being trained by the Chiyu men, etc., and he's striking out with hatred. So there's going to be a plot point at some point in my mind where there's going to be some sort of redemption, or Rio will have to let go of his vengeance and his hate for Landy, and then that story branches off. So that's if, again, they have a physical fight here. Because there could also be greater power at play. We obviously haven't seen Tente yet. And is he masterminding this whole situation and how this all comes to fruition later on? We also have the magical elements here of Shenmue. Obviously, in Shenmue Online, you can see him calling the dragon down in the Shenmue Online video, where the Phoenix and the dragon essentially meet in the sky. The Shenmue 2 bad ending, he says he's going to take Shenfar's power for the Chiyu. So we don't know where that's going to go. And the other question that may or may not come up, but something I found quite interesting here, is when did he actually know about the Phoenix Mirror? So in the anime, it seems to suggest that he knows about it all along, because when he's taken the Dragon Mirror, there's a cutscene where he's sat in the black car talking to one of the subordinates, and he says there's one more mirror, find it. And you see Chai as well, he's listening to the conversation. However, in the games, it's not really known whether he knows about this or not. Obviously, we have the bad ending in Shenmue 1 where he goes, I hear there's another mirror. So where's he got that information from potentially, or where or how did he find this out? And in Shenmue 2, are we aware at this point that he may or may not know about the second mirror? Does he know about the second mirror? Shenmue 3 cast out on that a little bit, because when Ren shows him the fake Phoenix mirror, he seems quite instantly interested in that. We don't know why, it's not really explained at this point, but that could be a point, or it could have been a point earlier on where he's actually found out about that, and that could come to fruition in a later title, but we really don't know at this point. But he's, I guess, coming to the summary of this video, he has a massive part to play. He's the main antagonist of the Shenmue series so far. That could change, as I say, with the other story elements that could well be at play, higher powers, people involved that may be manipulating this situation. We really don't know. So that's the big question with Landy is there going to be a redemption arc, and was he being played? If there is a redemption arc, will he be the one to take, almost give his life to make up for taking Iwao's life, potentially? Or on the other side of it, what if he was right? What if he wasn't manipulated and Iwao did do it? Now the question would be, why did Iwao do it? And I'm sure we would find that out in later games or later series or whatever. But then how would Rio react to that, thinking that his father at this point is completely innocent? And bear in mind, nobody really knows what happens that we know of currently. Is Landy the key to that? Was he there? Did he witness this? Did he witness his father's death? And did that drive him, motivate him to then want to get, become a martial arts master and eventually take the life of Iwao Hazuki? So guys, what do you think about Landy? As I said, he's a very mysterious character. There's a lot to digest with him. Do you think he will have a redemption arc? Do you think he won't? Where do you think his story will end up? Drop us a comment below, and obviously we'll have a discussion about it, and we may pull out some comments here or there as things go on. As always, guys, thank you for joining the content. Give us a like, share, subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You know exactly where you can find us by now. And I will be back with another video not too far from now. Take care. Have a good one.